Let me tell you straight, nothing in my 20 years running Black Ops for Delta Force could have prepared me for the sight of my husband, Tyrone, lying in a pool of his own blood on our driveway, while a cop named Benson smirked from the shadows. That morning started off so ordinary, maybe even too good to last, you know what I mean? I just stepped out of the shower, towel wrapped around me. The bathroom all steamed up, my body mapped with scars from a lifetime of missions most folks never even hear about. But for once, life felt normal. Tyrone was downstairs plating omelets. Guy could save a kid's life in the OR and whip up breakfast with the same gentle precision. 2 years into my so-called retirement, and living in Oakwood Heights, Atlanta's little slice of old money suburbia, still felt like some dream I'd been dropped into by accident. But dreams, they don't last long around here, not when you're the only black family on the block. The little slights built up, day by day, neighbors who wouldn't meet our eyes, that old bat misses. Whitaker spying on us with binoculars like I was about to smuggle a cartel through the sprinkler system. Tyrone just laughed it off. Always the optimist, always kill him with kindness, but we both knew that under all that green grass and HOA rules, something ugly was rotting. That morning, he kissed me goodbye 2 honks. Our ritual end back down the drive in his white doctor's coat, ready to save a little girl's life. I barely had time to pour my coffee before my secure phone buzzed me, old teammate, Riley, calling about a security contract. That's when I heard the shots loud, sharp, and way too close. Training kicked in, and I dropped to the floor, crawling to the window, heart pounding, trying to work the angles like I had in Yemen or Kabul. But this wasn't war, this was my home. Tyrone's car was back in the driveway. 2 police cruisers blocking him in, Benson and his partner Wilson with guns drawn, their faces twisted with that look, yeah, you know the one. Tyrone, hands up, hospital ID visible, saying, "I'm a doctor, my ID's right here." They shot him anyway 5 times. He dropped, blood pooling, and I couldn't even scream. They didn't call for an ambulance. They let him bleed. That's when the old Zoe, the one who'd spent years tracking terrorists, rose up inside me, cold and clear. Those cops had no idea who they just messed with. It took 15 minutes for them to finally call an ambulance, and only after I screamed at them, reciting my military credentials like some damn password. The hospital lights buzzed overhead as I waited, still wearing Tyrone's blood. Neighbors who'd always kept their distance now sent messages. Barbara Kennedy, saying she saw everything. Richard Powell offering up his security camera footage. But you know how it goes, those who want to help are always outnumbered by those who want to look away. That's when Captain Thompson, the precinct head, showed up, all smooth concern. He called it an unfortunate incident, said Tyrone made threatening movements. I reminded him Tyrone's only weapon was a hospital ID and a white coat. Thompson promised an investigation. Paid leave for the officers, of course. "We're still gathering facts," he said. "Yeah, right." Then, like some twist in a bad movie, Colonel Maxwell Hazemy old co showed up, bringing a whiff of real power into that hospital hallway. Hayes said he called in the FBI Civil Rights Division. But I'd seen how these things played out. Internal review, paid vacation, no justice. While Tyrone clung to life and surgery, I caught Benson and Wilson bragging in the hallway. One less thug in a fancy coat. They laughed, not knowing I was recording every word on my phone. That night, sitting by Tyrone's bedside, watching the machines keep him alive, I made a promise. If the system wouldn't deliver justice, I'd use every last skill I had to bring these men down. Days turned to weeks. The media parroting the police line, respected surgeon made threatening movements. Officers feared for their lives. I reached out to Riley, and we set up shop. She handled surveillance, digging up records, tracking Benson, Wilson, even Thompson. Patterns started to emerge. 23 suspicious person stops, 21 of them black men, always in wealthy neighborhoods, all swept under the rug. Thompson wasn't just turning a blind, I was orchestrating the whole thing. We found racist online groups, evidence of systematic harassment, even links to Pinnacle Properties, a real estate company snatching up foreclosed homes after minorities were forced out. A neighbor, Richard, risked everything to give me backup footage after police lost his security system. Then a Detective Martinez approached me with a flash drive of the body cam footage that the department claimed was corrupted. It showed exactly what I'd said Tyrone with hands up, identifying himself. Martinez said she'd been investigating these cops for months, but needed more financials, communications, anything to tie Thompson to the crimes. But every time we dug, the dirt got deeper. Martinez warned me, these people are dangerous. And she wasn't lying. Soon after, Tyrone nearly died in the hospital, poisoned by meds no doctor had ordered. Someone had planted a Nurse Phillips in Thompson's recommendation. Then he vanished when we got too close. That's when I realized this wasn't just about racism. This was a criminal racket. Cops targeting black homeowners, driving them out, developers buying cheap, hospital staff involved in something even uglier. Organ transplants. Tyrone had stumbled onto statistical anomalies in transplant records, a pattern that pointed to illegal organ trafficking, with police brutality as the cover. Our evidence, leaked to journalists, started a firestorm. Police for profit trended, the city awoke, and protesters hit the streets. Thompson tried to silence us, even sent men to kill me in a staged robbery, but I sent them packing, Delta style. Then the trap closed. Martinez betrayed us, revealing she'd been working for Thompson the whole time, setting me up for arrest. But Hayes and the FBI intervened at the last second, exposing Thompson, seizing all our evidence, and forcing the mayor's office to act. Tyrone, against all odds, woke up. His testimony, along with Officer Washington's, the one honest cop in the mess, was the nail in the coffin. Turns out, this network stretched to the governor's office, judges, hospital administrators, all making money off misery. As we handed over files to the state attorney general, the house of cards fell. Raids, arrests, and, finally, Thompson and Mills led away in handcuffs. 6 months later, Tyrone testified before Congress, sparking national reform, new laws, and a foundation to help other victims of police violence. Officer Washington became a detective, helping to rebuild a broken system from within. Our new home felt safe for the first time in years. A community that welcomed us, not just tolerated us. But the scars run deep, and the work is never done. I keep thinking about all the victims who never had a Delta Force vet in their corner, all the stories that never make the news. That's why we fight on it for vengeance, but for a future where dignity isn't a privilege, but a right. What about you? If the system failed your family, would you take matters into your own hands? Do you believe real change is possible? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about what justice really means and why we can't give up. Like and subscribe if you believe stories like ours can spark change, and share this with someone who needs hope. Justice is a fight, and sometimes it takes warriors and healers side by side to win.